So they've finally arrested Sean P. Diddy Combs. So they have finally arrested Sean P. Diddy Combs. And it should come as no shock to anyone. He has finally been indicted. We have a bunch of stories for you. Watch this video to fully understand the reasons why he's finally been arrested, what does indictment mean, and what this outlook means for the future relations between men, women, society. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. We do have some breaking news we want to report to you out of the world of entertainment. We're getting this in from TMZ. Alex Michelson there at Fox 11 in Los Angeles has it in this tweet here that Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested after being indicted by a grand jury in New York. That's according to the New York Times, also according to TMZ as well here. It's not immediately clear what charges he is facing. So this is quite significant here. I want to just show you some file footage of Diddy over the years. Now, TMZ has an update saying that a law enforcement source is telling them the arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him. Also, TMZ says we have unconfirmed reports the feds are searching his hotel room. They were told that Diddy was taken to the FBI field office in Manhattan. So you will remember that earlier this year, you remember these scenes over his homes in both Miami and there, as well in Beverly Hills, where those search warrants were issued and those searches of his properties were given, and they were executed there at his homes as part of these ongoing criminal investigations into alleged sex trafficking. Now, at the time, it was very unclear what the search warrants referred to there at the time. But according to TMZ, the arrest tonight is in connection with those searches. And you remember at the time that we were over this story for a very long time that day earlier this year. I'm trying to get an exact date from my producer to jog my memory. March the 25th. So March 25th, the same day, 2 of Diddy's residences were searched by federal law enforcement there in Beverly Hills.
I mean, guys, this was only a matter of time before it happened. Diddy has been doing a lot of bad in this world. Absolute lot of bad. This is not a good dude. Diddy is absolutely not a good dude. You know, this dude has a history, I used to hear about Diddy's parties, you know. I used to hear different things about Diddy's parties and a lot of the stuff that was going down at Diddy's parties. I mean, it didn't really sound anything out of the absolute ordinary. But, you know, I heard some stuff about Diddy's lifestyle and like what he was doing and some of the celebrities he was hanging out with. I remember one specific situation where they said that, like, I think it was Bruce Willis went to a Diddy party, went to his house, and Diddy basically told all the ladies in the house to do something specific, you know, in honor of Bruce Willis, and they basically partied all night long. And after they partied, then Diddy served breakfast in the morning. And you have to remember that, like, Ashton Kutcher, he was hanging out with Diddy. There's this guy who claims that Diddy was a part of the Black Illuminati, and that, he would have all of these parties, and he would use like different people as his SLVAEs, and it was just some real nasty stuff. And he would just watch as, like, he would basically order these guys to have, be intimate, and like I think like he even like had them, watch them make love, if we'll call that, to his then girlfriend Cassie. Cassie was in on all of this, by the way. Cassie's supposed to be indicted right along with him. And I'm going to tell you why. So, for example, there's allegations, there are videos showing things happening, altercations between him and Cassie. However, evidently she went back after like that altercation, the video that we saw. I think they said she actually went back to the hotel, like she left at one point, or I don't know if it was that specific event, but she's like left and then she's gone back to him even after being warned by like hotel staff like don't go back to this dude. The reason why is because Cassie was eating off his plate. Cassie has been eating off D's plate for like 15 to 20 years. This is not a young woman. Cassie Ventura, this is not a young woman. She has been eating off Diddy's plate for evidently well over a decade, maybe pushing closer to 20 years. She was eating very, very well off Diddy's plate. And you have to understand that Cassie has a lot of now, just like Jelaine Maxwell, she was involved. Like she was the girlfriend of Jeffrey, and then she became, and then she was the madam involved in all of this shit that he was doing. I'm telling y'all right now, Cassie was involved in this. And the relationship, the things that we saw happen between Cassie and Diddy, don't be surprised if Cassie wasn't doing the same types of things to other individuals. You don't know who she put her hands on. I'm being real. And you know what's amazing is when you point this out, you immediately have women jumping at you and like, how dare you say this? Cassie is a victim. Why do you even have to bring that up for? Because women don't want to take accountability. When women victimize other women, they basically want it swept under the rug. When women hurt other women, they basically want it to disappear because it's supposed to be something exclusive to men. This is the sick and sadistic and sad reality that we absolutely live in. It's a joke. It is 100% a joke what we're looking at. It's 100% a joke what we're dealing with. Because men are treated so poorly compared to women who are basically given special privileges while we are given special punishments. So I think it's very important to acknowledge that Cassie is not a victim in this situation. She was with Diddy for a long time. She was living off Diddy for a long time. That girl didn't work. All right? She did not work at all. She wasn't serious. She didn't want it that bad because she had Diddy. Dude was pushing, he's a borderline billionaire. Borderline billionaire. And I'll tell you something about his sons. It would not surprise me if his sons were involved in that lifestyle. Do I think Diddy's going to jail? Probably. Do I think he's going to stay in jail? This is where things get very, 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 very questionable. You see, there's a thing called snitching. And Diddy is too rich to go to jail. He's enjoyed the good life for far too long to go to jail. Okay? So what will Diddy do? Diddy will snitch on all of those people that came to his parties. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of people. A lot of people. He will snitch on all of them. All right? He will sing a song. He will sing a song like you'll hear that boy sing. You will hear that boy sing. All right? He will sing a real song about all the men and women, yes, women, that were involved with him. And the secrets that he knows. I guarantee you he knows a lot of things that these people have done. Because these people, they want to share. When they're sitting with a creep, they want to get some stuff off their conscience. They want to talk about the things that they've done. They want to talk about the crimes they've committed. That's the reason why they immediately went after Jeffrey. Okay? Because he knew way too much. And he was the keeper of secrets. Bill Clinton could sit down and discuss all the bad things he had done in this entire world. And Jeffrey would keep his secrets because Jeffrey was a bad man and Jeffrey wouldn't judge him. Jeffrey was different. Jeffrey was misunderstood. Jeffrey was their friend. All the things that normal people would find evil, Jeffrey wouldn't judge you. Jeffrey would show you love. That's the reason why when, the first round with Jeffrey, he basically got like a Mickey Mouse conviction and then they cracked down on him. And they knew that, this guy had too much knowledge. He had way too much knowledge of the things people had done. And that's the reason why, that's the reason why things went down the way they went down with him. So, I mean, do I expect Sean Diddy to go to prison? I mean, I think he'll see jail. I think he'll see jail. I don't know how much prison time he's gonna get. I think he might get, like, they might say, listen, little bro, you're gonna have to get some prison time. Okay? You're not gonna be able to go completely scotch-free with all of this. But we'll work with you. We'll work with you on the prison that you're gonna go to, and so forth. Because he's already made his money. This man has a crazy amount of money. He's already made his money. He's lived a good life. He doesn't need to be a billionaire. I'm just being very honest. This man doesn't need to be a billionaire. Okay? He has so much damn money. He owns so much property, so many music rights. I don't know exactly how much his empire will collapse. If he's convicted, they pull his music off the air. Y'all, who the fuck ever really gave a damn about Diddy's music like that? Like J-Lo, like his J-Lo songs in the 90s. And I miss you everywhere I go. I see you. I miss you. Nobody gave a fuck about Diddy like that. It wasn't about Diddy making music. It was about the people who he managed. It's about all of the masters that he owns. What is a master? A master is basically the tracks of the creators that signed under his label. So he owns the master rights to all of that shit. And you'd be amazed how this music is used around us. It's used in promotions. It's used in a lot of different things. It's used in television shows. You'd be amazed how valuable all of those assets are. And Diddy owns that shit. Think about it very carefully. Diddy owns that shit. I mean, who owns the rights to Biggie's music? Who owns the masters to Biggie's music? I'm so serious, because they talked about how, Biggie was pissed off. Biggie's mother was pissed off, regarding what happened with Diddy. And, he was going to be he was being taken advantage of Diddy with the little amount of money Diddy offered him to sign him. But realistically, I'm just asking you a question. Who owns the masters to Biggie's music? Because I don't know if Biggie owned his masters. Especially back in those days, it was normal for people to not own their masters, as far as I understand. I might be wrong. But from what I've seen, a lot of people don't own their masters. So Diddy may actually still own the masters to Biggie's albums, or part of it, because a lot of times they'll sell part of the rights, like Michael Jackson, his collection. He, like, Sony Music owned part of the rights to it, and Michael owned like part of the beat. So I think Sony owned like part of the Beatles, and Michael owned part of the Beatles. It was some crazy stuff. But I'm just giving you that example. So this man has money. He has money, and he really could just drop some dimes. He can sing some songs, drop some dimes on a lot of people, and clear that situation up. And it doesn't matter if he goes to. It doesn't. At his point, at this level, people will call him a snitch if they don't. That's if they don't get to him first. But like, oh well, people are gonna say these people are just a bunch of scumbags anyway. They're a bunch of scumbags like Diddy. And then Diddy will go around doing his rehabilitation tour, like talking about, oh man, what happened? It was just terrible, and it wasn't me. Like, I got mixed up with these types of people, and they're the ones who really, I take accountability, but I was fucked up, and I had to pray to God and ask God for his blessings and his mercy to help get me away from these people, because my mother raised me better than this. We used to be in church every Sunday. My mother would wake me up and she'd say, Sean, it's time for church. And I wouldn't even argue with her because I was tired, I had to go to school. But I got up and we would go to church every Sunday. And we'd be in church every Sunday. We'd listen to the pastor and we'd pray and we'd rejoice and that's where I started. That's where I got into singing. That's where I started developing my voice. I used to be on the choir. I used to be in the choir in church. I used to love to sing. I used to love to sing. This is the bullshit this motherfucker is gonna put out there. Talking a whole load of shit. All right. After he snitches and gets like a Goldilocks deal and let's call that shit what it is, golden parachute deal. His ass should be serving life. Dude gets like 2-3 years out in like 7 months. All right. Serves arrest on house arrest. And they call it house arrest, but he's still going out and enjoying himself. Just has to let his parole officer know, oh, we're gonna give him 10 years of probation. That shit they get rid of that shit in like 2 to 3. Okay. And then little by little Diddy works his way back. His ass is popping up at award shows again. I'm telling you, this is a fucked up world, and everybody loves a winner. This motherfucker will come out like Ali, all right, saying that he was knocked down, but he wants to show the kids. Could you remember this bullshit in New York? Diddy runs the city for the kids of the city. Yeah, guys, I'm from New York. This motherfucker a number of years ago ran in one of the marathons, and it was literally he was raising money for the kids. Diddy runs the city for the kids of the city. This motherfucker, the kids need to stay away from this man. All right. Stay the fuck away from this man. Old fucking Diddy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
His home in Miami in connection to what we knew at the time was an alleged federal sex trafficking investigation. And you remember these scenes, his mansion there in the Holmby Hills and his mansion there in Miami. So this is breaking right now. We are working to get more details. We are working to get more people on the line to help us make sense of what exactly happened today. But all we know right now is that Diddy has been arrested in New York. The New York Times and TMZ both have it. I have it up here at the New York Times. They say this, I'm reading from their piece, that Sean Combs, the music mogul, whose career has been upended by sexual assault lawsuits in a federal investigation, was arrested in Manhattan on Monday evening after a grand jury indicted him. Now, this is important. At the time, we brought on legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff, who is based in Los Angeles, and she noted at the time, back in March, that it looked like these warrants were approved by judges in New York, which led Megan Cuniff to believe at the time that maybe the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York was the lead on these probes and these investigations into federal sex trafficking allegations here. Now, that was Megan Cuniff's supposition at the time. I think it has borne out now because Diddy was arrested by federal authorities in Manhattan. And from what I was told, from what I remember at the time, a judge in New York signed off on the search warrants for the searches of his properties in Los Angeles and in Miami. Now, if we get any more clarification on that, or if Megan Cuniff, who we might bring on, can correct me if I'm wrong here. But at the time, Megan Cuniff, we had asked her, would Diddy be held liable or would any legal action be taken against him personally in the immediate wake and aftermath of those raids on his mansions in California and Florida? Megan Cuniff at the time told us she didn't believe it would happen immediately, that the feds would present their case most likely to a grand jury, which we now know has been done there in Manhattan. So according to the New York Times, the indictment is sealed. The charges were not announced, so we don't know the charges. But they have a source that says the person familiar with the prosecution, they believe Combs is being charged with racketeering and sex trafficking here. So 7:30 here on the West Coast, 10:30 there on the East Coast. This is a breaking news story right now regarding the music mogul, the hip-hop legend, Sean Diddy Combs being arrested by federal authorities today in Lower Manhattan.
Ain't no way do I say, guys. I do not see him getting ending up in a situation like R. Kelly, where you serve like R. Kelly is serving like a lifetime, basically the equivalent of a lifetime prison sentence. I just don't see it. I really just don't see it at all. I'm just being so honest with you. I do not see this man getting like a lifetime prison sentence. I don't even see like 20 years. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, but he's way too rich to do this. Like I just don't see it. Do I think that this guy is untouchable? No. But I honestly, I truly believe that others will go before he does. Others will go down before he goes down. And I mean that. I really do. Because I don't think that he's going to take that fall just like that. I don't. I really, really do not. I think that there's more to the story that we don't know. And I think people like Cassie are going to play a role. So, again, we're just looking, this is some of the stuff we've already heard. We'll go over this. Yeah, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested by federal agents in New York City. We're going to see if we have some additional details over here regarding what has happened, because this is going to be all over the place going on later on. Sean Diddy Combs was arrested Monday night in New York City by federal agents with Homeland Security investigations. ABC News has confirmed. So this was related. So Homeland Security was actually involved. This is a massive situation. So when Homeland Security is involved, this is like a national issue. This looks like something that was happening in multiple states. You wouldn't have an arrest that involves Homeland Security if it wasn't serious like that. So earlier this evening, federal agents arrested Sean Combs based on a sealed indictment filed by SDNY. United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Damian Williams, said in a statement, "We expect to move to unseal the indictment in the morning, and we'll have more to say at that time." A federal grand jury in Manhattan turned in an indictment against Combs, which set in motion his arrest, sources told ABC News. The charges remain sealed. Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilio, addressed the news in a statement calling it an unjust prosecution. Realistically, he should have known this was going to happen. Like, he should have known, he should have been prepared for his arrest. "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community," Agnifilio said in the statement. "He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges." Okay, so they just dropped a detail right there. He knew the charges were coming, and he deliberately went to New York because he knew they were going to charge him. So he was tipped off. "Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court," Agnifilio added. It's so sad that Jonathan Majors lost everything, and this bitch-ass motherfucker will probably walk away with a slap on the wrist. It just, like I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, many people, Harvey Weinstein, people say a lot of things about Harvey. Diddy is way worse than Harvey Weinstein, okay? And I'm just put it like this way. A lot of those individuals who came after Harvey, they basically, it was negotiation, in other words, for movie parts and stuff like this. This motherfucker Diddy is a I thought that a lot of this shit was bullshit, but when men started coming forward and saying what Diddy was doing, no, it was too many, bro. It was too many men. Too many men. And 50 Cent, 50 Cent's a troll. Even a news reporter said it, like they didn't believe 50 Cent when 50 Cent claimed that Diddy was like trying to take him on dates and was trying to, take him back to the bedroom. Because 50 Cent talks a lot of shit. And then this shit happened. He said, this is no. So many of you don't know the story behind this, and I learned about it recently. Basically, 50 Cent claimed a minute ago, and maybe he's been saying it for a long time now. I don't know how long. It could be like 10 or 20 years. He claims that when he first met Diddy kept on bugging him and telling him, like, when are we going to go shopping? Let me take you shopping. Let me take you shopping like you are a chick? Does that make sense to you? Let me take you shopping. No, that doesn't. Nah, bro. That doesn't sound right. Okay? Dude was trying to smash. I was reading another article today, and it says that this inmate, like some guy who's currently in prison, was awarded $100 million in a lawsuit he filed against Diddy, and he basically got a default judgment. He got a default judgment because Diddy didn't show up for court, and he basically, for $100 million. And my guess is that Diddy will probably just settle it, but it's crazy. It's absolutely a default judgment for $100 million, bro. And he basically claimed that Diddy was, Diddy had his way with them, and the diddler struck, and there's just way too many men coming forward. In the age of M2, a lot of people are very cautious. They don't say it, but a lot of people are very, very cautious when they hear stories where women are saying, "Oh, this and this," because a lot of people know, like, women are now basically going after their friends. They're going after companies. But this stuff with Diddy, and there's a lot of these men. I thought these guys were just trying to like hop on the M2 bandwagon and get some money, and maybe some of them are. But increasingly, no. It looks like Diddy is he's a nasty dude, real nasty dude, bro. I didn't know this motherfucker was so dark. I had no idea Diddy was such a dark person. Okay? And he didn't have to do all of this. He did not have to live this life. He really did not have to do these things. But that's just who he is. That's really just who he is and what he chose to do. He chose to live this type of lifestyle, this really dirty lifestyle. No one forced him to. He went down that path, and I'm just being so honest when I say that I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. Beyond disgusted. With the diddler. And it's like you feel like you should have seen it coming. You should have been more in tune with it. But it's like these days everyone's just like talking so much shit. It's like you just don't know what's true, and you don't know what's true from what's not true. But this shit was true. Diddy was really out there doing evil in this world. And I really believe his sons were involved in this shit. It's like birds of a feather flock together, and he has a lot of grown-ass sons. Like, these are grown-ass men. And they may end up getting indicted and serving time with their pops. Okay? Like, you can see a darkness side of Diddy. You really can, like, look in this motherfucker's eyes, and you can see, like, a darkness in this dude's eyes. There's a darkness inside of that man. Jesus, help us. Because it's like these people, they get to a certain position in life, and they suddenly feel like they're gods now, and they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. I saw an episode of Joe Rogan where he was talking with this dude. I forget the name of the dude. He's always hanging out with Joe. And he was like basically asking this dude questions. This dude's like acting like he didn't know shit. And that's like, I'm like, bro, everyone could see how fucking guilty you look. And maybe he didn't do anything particularly. Maybe he did. But he definitely looks like you can see this motherfucker sweating, all right? Because he definitely, it's like he definitely knows shit. You could see, like, he could not hold it in. Like, bro, what do you know? What do you know? And Joe was sitting there just chilling, and Joe could tell this motherfucker was scared. He was scared out of his wits over Diddy. All right? Because he either was involved in it, he knows something, or he was involved in it and he knows something. But you don't get that frightened and that paranoid, or he's connected to someone who knows someone, or who knows someone who knows something, or was involved in it, or both. I'm telling you, this dude was just like Jeffrey. You could see that Diddy, he's mixed up in this shit. And will Diddy end up like Jeffrey? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But this shit is definitely just beginning.
New York Times is reporting that Sean P. Diddy Combs has been arrested. Let me repeat. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs has been arrested. Let me tell you what I do know, and it ain't much at this point. Arrested in Manhattan. This evening, grand jury indicted him according to a person familiar with the indictment, not authorized to speak publicly. The charges in the indictment not immediately clear, but you know that there's been this massive federal investigation, right? They've raided his home in Los Angeles. They raided his home in Miami, much of it after a civil suit from his former girlfriend, Cassie, who, by the way, he settled within a day. And then after that, video came out showing him beating her to a living pulp in a hotel. But a lot of the allegations in the lawsuit that, Cassie had actually filed against him provided, I think, some meat on the bones for the feds. But the New York Times saying that this happened, they don't have a lot more information than this. We are also trying to confirm this, but I can tell you that his attorney has made a statement, and let me read it to you because I think it confirms what the New York Times is reporting, and it's this. And it's Mark Agnifilo, his attorney. Quote, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court." So again, that is Mark Agnifilo. That's the attorney for Sean Diddy Combs. But that's pretty massive news that maybe is news that we've just been waiting every moment to drop, because not only do we know that the feds did these two massive raids on his Miami and his Los Angeles mansions, we also know that multiple lawsuits have dropped since. So the lawsuit that obviously Cassie launched with so many details, that had just remarkable details in it. Just and what's really incredible about all of the different lawsuits against Sean Combs is how similar everyone's story is. Now, is that because he did the same things to all of these alleged victims, or is it because all of these people filing suit see the story before them and think it makes a good narrative, so why not just, follow with those same details? But I will tell you some of the details, and I'm going to paraphrase, so you'll have to just, forgive me for the colloquial, but many of the allegations say that there was sexual assault through drugging, and many of those alleged druggings and sexual assaults happened at large parties where the allegations were that he brought in a number of women, and sometimes young women / girls. Allegations that many of those at the party, many of the female party attendees looked as though they were underage, may very well have been underage, but that multiple women said that they were drugged or saw other women being drugged. In fact, we just reported on a lawsuit last week of yet another accuser saying that she saw this happen at multiple parties. She was a member of the Making the Band. She's suing Diddy for years and years of verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, and sexual abuse.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen.
So Making the Band, guys, y'all, that goes back. So I never really watched Making the Band, but I remember hearing about this dude named Dylon. Y'all remember that shit? It was all about Dylon. And then he'd been like in prison at one point, and Diddy bailed him out. I tell you, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I am not crying for Diddy. I am not crying for this motherfucker. All right? This is a real creep, and it's sad when you see people like Johnny Depp, Jonathan Majors, lose their fucking lives to this shit. If you there's also, what's the name of that thing? House of Cards. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. House of Cards. And
here's some information about House of Cards.
Yeah.
US Representative Francis Underwood.
So Kevin Spacey, that's who I was thinking of. This dude lost his entire life, his entire career. He ran out of money. He was losing his house. And all of these people, like, you had a bunch of dudes. This is what made me really, really worry about the situation with Diddy. Because you had a lot of dudes that were coming forward and trying to fuck around with Kevin Spacey. The thing is that every case that he went to, there were famous people that were there, and they basically pleaded at his cases that the allegations against him were lies. They did not witness any of the behavior. So you had a bunch of these dudes, M2 dudes, they like when the whole M2 thing happened, that were trying to take advantage of him. And it's absolutely insane. I think he's an incredible actor. He's an absolutely incredible actor. And I'm just like, regardless how you feel about, the lifestyle he lives or his orientation, the fact remains that this man had his life destroyed over bullshit. And there are people who like just don't give a fuck. It's like, oh well, we got him, too bad for him. Because once your name gets slandered, you're fucked. They're saying that Jonathan Majors is completely broke also, which makes total sense. Because a lot of these actors that we see in these movies, they don't have as much bread as we think. Like Tom Holland, he made very little money for those Spider-Man movies. Like the first movie he did was I think it was like $500K. Both him and Zendaya were underpaid. I think his net worth somewhere like $10 million at the moment. And Sony Pictures, they are going to make another Spider-Man film. But to my understanding, they were saying that they didn't even want to pay him $20 million, but they'll probably end up giving it to him. And I'm thinking to myself, $20 million, and he was the face of a franchise that grossed you guys was over $3 billion. All three Spider-Man movies made Sony something like $3.7 billion. And the guy who starred in all of the movies made something like $10 million total. And you want to fucking tell me that he's supposed to get, they're trying to they don't even want to give him $20 million? Come on, nah. That's bullshit. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is an incredible actor. He's responsible for the entire MCU. But by the end of his career, by the end of his time in the MCU, and he's coming back now, he was getting something like, I think it was $100 million or 5% of the gross for the final movie. It was some crazy figure. And Tom Holland, he being the front of these movies, has brought in an insane amount of money. An absolutely insane amount of money. He's done his job. And he didn't even make that kind of money. And Jonathan Majors, his entire career has been robbed from him. You're going to see this dude working at Jumbo Juice. Poor guy. And it's crazy because we are really a divided country. There are people who are going after him for dating a white woman. which is out like this. The whole notion of black and white is outside of the United States is stupid. It's like no one gives a fuck. And he basically said that he said to her that he wants a woman who's going to be like Michelle Obama or like or what's her name, like the guy that Martin Luther King was married to. Basically, regardless, I don't agree with his politics necessarily, but I get what he was saying. Coretta Scott King, what he was saying is that he wants to be with a woman who carries herself like a lady. You don't see Michelle out there throwing it back in the club. Did she do it back in the day? Maybe, but back then they didn't have, there was no video evidence of that. All right, so we can't really catch her with that. Michelle, Coretta Scott King, was she cheating on Martin Luther? Probably, maybe, because there's stories about these people. Definitely, like Malcolm. Malcolm was like, I never knew Malcolm used to swing in different ways, but when we're talking about Martin, we don't really know because Martin used to go away sometimes. Guys, listen to me. Think about this carefully. A lot of these dudes were in prison for a good minute. Martin Luther King, if I recall, he was in prison for a good minute. And bro, you really think Coretta was just chilling there and not getting those cheeks clapped? Y'all really think she was getting those cheeks clapped? People don't understand women, okay? Women need physical intimacy more than men. And they're not going to tell. They'll go and do what they have to do, and they do not have a conscience about it. In fact, in some cases, it's just well known and accepted that when the man is not around, the woman will have like someone who helps provide relief for her to keep peace within the home. Peace within the home, y'all. Peace within the home. So, I mean, it's just like other countries, they understand, they understand how women operate much better than Western society does. A lot of you idiots, and you idiots know exactly what I'm talking about, are determined that you still want a princess, that your soulmate will never cheat on you, or when you go to the Philippines and you meet the Filipina, unless you do something to hurt her and make her feel bad, or unless you've committed some crime against her, she will never hurt you. She is the vessel of perfection. And then what ends up happening is, when you get fucked, you come looking for Uncle Angry. You come looking for Uncle Angry, and it's like I will admit, it happened today. It happened today. It did happen today. One of you guys who misbehave, because you guys like to misbehave. A lot of you like to misbehave. One of you guys who misbehaves, likes to talk crap to me. You go out there, and I give this knowledge away for free. You like to talk shit to me, and then you go out into the world, and the light in the world just fucks you up. And then you're like, you run back to Uncle Angry. You're like, Angry, you were right. Say it again. Angry, you were right. I know I'm right. Now get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Ugh. It's good, guys. This is an evil world we live in. This is an evil motherfucking world we live in, y'all. And if you don't know, then you better wake the fuck up. Because this world is so evil. It is so vindictive. And if you are not on your P's and Q's, it will destroy you. Guys, you need to know how to survive in this world. You have to know how to survive because times are crazy right now. I just dropped a new course for you guys. Learn how to survive and thrive. How to survive and thrive using community resources. You guys have been asking for this course for a long time now. And I dropped this course for you guys. There's a link to it in the description of the video. And basically, in today's challenging world, knowing how to use government and community resources can make all the difference. That's why I created the Survive and Thrive course. This 12-lesson crash course teaches you how to secure cash, money, food, housing, healthcare, and more. Imagine having a trusted advisor showing you how to leverage community support to stabilize your finances and grow your wealth. Join me and learn step-by-step strategies to maximize available resources and enhance your financial stability. Click the link in the description to sign up now, guys. It's because this is no game. There is no. This is no game. We are basically we are at a point. We're at a place right now, a turning point in society for humanity, where if you mess around, you're going to find out very, very easily. Also, guys, don't forget to check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. We have a lot of great things and offered on the Angry Guy Clubhouse. We have everything from articles, podcasts, videos, as to guides on the Clubhouse about a variety of different things. Everything on building wealth to just a lot of just wealth building, a lot of wealth building stuff on there. Blueprints for greatness. Okay, so you can head over there, sign up to that. We have new articles, for example, the art of suffering, why Gen Z could learn a thing or two from Gen X. The dark ages were orchestrated. The fall of the Roman Empire, tale of lost knowledge and dark ages. Choosing a girlfriend is like hiring an employee. So we have a lot of red pill knowledge on there for you as well. Again, lots of Gen X stuff too. What Gen X learned about surviving hardship, the younger generations didn't. This one, when men learn to be alone, women find themselves alone. Guys, there's a lot of great things on there. This one's actually really good. Women's rights crumbled after the Roman Empire. Women are driving men to isolation. If you want to check out the latest article, The Art of Suffering, why Gen Z could learn a thing or two from Gen X, that will actually be linked in the description. I mean, yeah, guys, go and check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. We have chats there. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me a chat, send me a message via chat. This is a space where you can feel safe. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about being censored. You can comment, and like I said, you could reach out to me via chat at any time and hit me up. There's so many great resources over here on the Angry Guy Clubhouse for you guys. It's just a good time. It's just a very good time. And you can find a link to the Angry Guy Clubhouse linked in the description of the video if you want to go and check that out. And also, guys, when you sign up to the Angry Guy Clubhouse, do not forget that you're also going to get our passive income blueprint. And the link to the Angry Guy Clubhouse and the passive income blueprint is in the description of the video. But let's get back to this case, this whole thing with Diddy right now. Because Diddy is a real bad dude. Diddy is a really, really bad dude.
Tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment. Joining us now is CNN's entertainment reporter Elizabeth Wagmeister, and also with us CNN chief legal correspondent Ellie Honig. Elizabeth, you were a big part of revealing some details about Diddy's conduct in private over the course of the last couple of months. That video led to a lot more scrutiny on what he has been accused of. What do we know at this point about what this case might ultimately be about?
Abby, at the moment, we don't know what the charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. I heard from his attorney they are still maintaining his innocence. They said that in anticipation of these charges that Diddy relocated to New York last week. And here's a statement that I have from his attorney. He says, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office." He goes on to say that he is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. Now, Abby, that video that you just spoke about was a few months ago when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. Now, up until this point, when we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. After that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from Making the Band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
And Ellie, not a huge amount of information available tonight, but Elizabeth brought up something that I want you to give us a little bit of insight into. Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? It could very well be that this is a federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charges that have been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The fact that he's being processed in Manhattan tells me that's the Southern District of New York. That's consistent with the reporting that the Southern District of New York had been handling this case. That's the office I used to work at. That's an office that sort of specializes in high stakes cases. Just in the last year or so, Southern District of New York, just as an example, has successfully prosecuted Sam Bankman-Fried, Senator Robert Menendez. The other thing that we do know is a grand jury has indicted Sean Combs, meaning they found probable cause that he committed at least one federal crime. Now, as to what happens next, there will be, likely tomorrow or within the next couple days, but usually in the SDNY, you try to do it the next day, there will be an arraignment, meaning Sean Combs will appear in court with his lawyers. There are no cameras in federal court. He will be advised of the charges against him, and he will almost certainly enter a not guilty plea. But the key thing to watch for is then we'll have the question of bail. Will prosecutors agree to let him out on bail? Will prosecutors ask the judge to lock him up pending trial? That could end up in a contentious argument. So these are things that are going to play out over the next 24 or 48 hours. And finally, Abby, with respect to the charges themselves, it's important to note, we've all seen that video, but assault and sexual assault are not federal crimes. Those are prosecuted in state court. So what I expect to see when we see this indictment is some sort of crime with some element of organization to it, sex trafficking, something along those lines, if it's based on some of the allegations we've heard.
And of course, back in March, his homes in LA and in Miami were raided.
Now, guys, my personal thoughts on this is when it comes to charging him, I think it's going to be very hard to do this. For example, racketeering, you're going to have to be able to prove that he was doing things like money laundering and involved in this type of thing. Was he? I don't know. So this is very interesting. They're trying to put him away, but they're trying to use other things to put him away. Are state level charges coming? Probably, but this is not. This is actually surprising. This is federal, and because this is in federal court, it's going to be much more difficult. This is going to be much more difficult because they're not going after him based on state level crimes. They're going after him, for example, this whole thing about trafficking, basically the whole trafficking thing. That's another situation. Will these people want to come forward? And again, there's one thing that his attorneys will want to do. They're going to want to settle. They are going to 100% want to settle and get this out of there. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very clear. His attorneys saw this coming. He went to New York. They said that he relocated to New York. If it's true, and he absolutely knew, he was tipped off. He knows exactly what's going on right now. He knows exactly what the process is. Will they say, can they say that, oh, he's a danger and is he a flight risk? Absolutely not. And you know how he can prove that he's not a flight. They still may not accept it, but do you know how they can prove that he's not a flight risk? Quite simple. They can say that he willfully returned to the United States, put himself in New York, anticipating that he would potentially be arrested at some point, and he wanted to make sure that he made himself available in the event that happened. So that is a very huge thing right there. And of course, he'll say that, he will surrender his passport. Maybe he'll put up a certain amount of money. Again, he's going to portray himself as a man, and that's what they're already doing, who has absolutely nothing to hide. Do not be surprised also if Cassie Ventura comes forward in federal court to speak up in his defense. I know it sounds absolutely crazy. but stranger things have happened. Don't be surprised if Cassie steps up and people will say that she's trying to defend her, ABUSER. People will try to say that she's out here trying to do that. However, the reality is that, guys, like I'm looking at this video. Like if you look at the video on the screen, you've got the girl in the, in the skirt, And it's like, oh gosh, they look so cute. But there's one thing that's really sad. These actors, they almost remind me of people from the 90s. But then there was something that you notice about her legs. All up and down her legs, she's tatted up. Like, this modern day generation of young women are just something else. They really are. They really are. And that's one of the reasons why I said that, like, a lot of the women who were involved in this thing with Diddy, they'll take a check. They will 100% take a check. Okay? I'm telling you right now. And there's a limited number of attorneys out there. So there are a bunch of different ways to deal with this. There's a bunch of different ways for Diddy to go about dealing with this. So basically, pay these attorneys off that could potentially represent these individuals. Pay off Gloria Allred. That's a smart move. When you have a lot of money, if you are a very rich man, these people there's a handful of these people that are large into this type of stuff. So if you're smart, you would go and you'd pay off Gloria Allred, or Gloria, is it Allred? You'd go and you'd pay off her daughter. You'd go and there's a specific group of these people that specialize in this criminal this thing. So you'd go and you'd basically drop money to each and every single one of them. You would basically, and these people are corrupt. They are all 100% corrupt. They're not going to say no to your money. Okay? The worst thing that may happen, and it's like you might say, well, okay, well, you're opening yourself up. I mean, if stuff is already out there, listen to me. These people only want their money. They don't give a fuck about anything. They don't give a fuck about the women. They don't give a fuck about anyone. They just want their money. So you can save a lot of money because the lawyers don't even get all of it. They have to pay fees and everything. Put these motherfuckers on retainer. Put Gloria Allred on retainer for you. Okay, put her on retainer. Put her daughter on retainer. All these motherfuckers. That's exactly how you do it. All right. And then if anyone comes forward and then goes to them, they will notify you that, hey, someone is sniffing around. And basically, all you have to do is nip it in the butt right then and there with a very simple settlement. In this case, you basically have an NDA signed and you offer them something like $20,000, $30,000. You offer a very small amount of money. $10,000, $20,000, you basically negotiate. And you make it very, very easy for them. Like, okay, yeah, we'll give you this money right now. But in response, you're gonna have to sign this NDA. You're not gonna receive any more money, and you cannot discuss the deal. And if basically, and you're entering into a mediative process, and you're also agreeing to mediation. So they basically sign an agreement on this, and these people know how to get them. They know how to get them. Telling you, this is the world. This entire world is psychology. This entire world, the entirety of this world is psychology, friends. I'm telling you. That's why you have to be so well aware of how this world operates. And I talk about a lot of that in the Clubhouse. I talk a lot about the way the world works in the Clubhouse, in the Angry Guy Clubhouse. Guys, you should definitely go check that out. Check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse on Substack. You can dive into exclusive podcasts, Gen X stories, and more. And plus, you're going to get access to our passive income blueprint, exclusive videos, and guides on building wealth and thriving. We also have a chat where you can reach me directly, so don't miss out. And you can click the link in the description to subscribe now. It's a great experience, guys. It's a lot of value. So go over there and check that out. Go over there and check that out, guys, because this is a really evil world we live in. This is a really, really, really evil world that we live in right now. And this world is trying to destroy you. And that's why I said, guys, you have to learn how to survive and thrive. Don't forget about my Survive and Thrive course. In today's challenging world, knowing how to use government and community resources can make all the difference. That's why I created the Survive and Thrive course. And it's a 12-lesson course that's going to teach you how to survive. All right, it's going to teach you how to secure cash, money, food, housing, healthcare, tons and a lot more. And I mean, guys, just imagine having a trusted advisor that's going to show you how to leverage community support to stabilize your finances and then grow your wealth. And you can join me and learn step-by-step strategies to maximize your available the available resources and enhance your financial security. And you can click the link in the description to sign up now for that course, guys. It is an incredible value. Do not miss out on it. You guys have been asking me for this course for ages, and I'm going to do this one time for you guys. The first 10 people that sign up from this video will actually save 10%, all right? You'll save 10% on the course. There's a link that you'll find a link in the description that's going to let you save 10% on the course. So go check that out. There's a link in the description of this video. And again, the first 10 people that sign up from this video, all right? We're just doing that. We're going to do it on just this video. Will get 10% off when they sign up. And yeah, and once it's gone, it's gone. So go ahead, go and jump in there, go and get a copy of this course, guys. Start learning right now because hell on earth is coming. This is crazy. By the way, and guys, another little thing that we have to mention is the fact that right now, we're heading into an election season. We're actually in election season right now. It's only 2 months. We're only 2 months away from an election at the time of making this video. We know exactly what happened with the situation with Trump recently. It's been, some lunatic made another attempt. And, it's just going to be one catastrophic incident after another leading up to this election. And as you guys, you realize it's going to be wild. One thing you need to understand is that no matter who wins the presidency, in 10 years, no matter who wins the presidency come next month, come 2 months from now, it doesn't matter because in the end, we all lose. It hurts for many of you to hear it. No matter who wins, we all lose because, the best that Trump will do is buy us some time. That's the best. The best outcome is that he'll buy us some time until hell on earth breaks loose, until hell on earth is unleashed. Because we've basically been going down this path forever, and these are the 100% consequences. These are the consequences of our society. These are the consequences of our reality right now. These are the consequences. And it's unfortunate. It's absolutely unfortunate. And by the way, guys, if you have been watching for 1 hour now, if you made it all the way to 1 hour, put 1 hour gang in the comments. Put 1 hour gang in the comments. If you made it to 1 hour, put 1 hour gang in the comments. Because be proud of yourself, guys. Guys, it's so nice when you can watch these videos. These are longer videos, so it's kind of like a cinematic experience. You're able to lay on the couch. You get to listen to Angry Guy. Another thing is you may have noticed with this video, I changed up the footage. I didn't use video game footage. I actually was able to get a lot of incredible stock footage for you guys. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys prefer the stock footage that I've used here, or if you want me to go back to the video game footage, or you want like a mixture of both. Let me know what you guys think. I think the stock footage was really nice. I think the new stock footage that I'm using here, with people and places and stuff, I think that it flows pretty neat. And I have a lot of videos. I put in a lot of work for you individuals. I absolutely did. So, you're just gonna have to let me know what you guys think, if you want me to keep using this stock footage, or if you want me to B-roll footage, or if you want me to go back to the video game footage. I think this is actually pretty neat. I think it was really relaxing watching this. I liked it, but I want to know what you guys think. But yeah, guys, don't forget, definitely check out the course. Check out the Learn to Survive and Thrive, learn how to survive and thrive using community resources course, because it's no joke. This society is no joke. Go and check that out. Find the link. You can, like I said, you'll get 10% off. 10% off for the first 10 people that use the link in the description. They will get 10% off on this course, and that's a major savings. So go and use that. We're only going to do that on this video. It's going to be just on this video for the first 10 people that purchase the course on this video and only this video. So go and do that, because many of you guys see what's happening right now. It's a living hell. It's a living hell out there. We're heading into a dystopia. massive, massive dystopia, and we all better be prepared for it. So that's something for you guys to do. That's something for you guys to go and check out right now. What do you guys think regarding all of this? They finally arrested his ass. They finally got there, man. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away and shit.